Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where we are finally back on track with talking about actual, spicy Japanese media instead of anime that is annoyingly dark. Yeah, we're back to doing hentai, at least for now, because sometimes you need a palate cleanser and sometimes you need something to wash out your eyes, even though the last one wasn't all that bad. Today we're starting with a recommendation from a personal friend of mine, and from your taste, I'd like to say thank you for something that everybody has watched, so that hopefully this can get a lot of views, and for something that is relatively normie, so I can at least vanilla my way through all the redo of a healer. Now, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe if you're not already. We do videos like these all the time. It's not a consistent schedule, but it's a fun schedule. You never know what you're going to get, because I'm sporadic and stupid. So, let's go ahead and get into this review. Today we are going to be reviewing Episode 1 of a little thing called Masterpiece. Episode 1, of course, being done by our friends over at Pink Pineapple, with a total of 20 categories. That is a fairly large amount. Oh, running at 30 minutes and 28 seconds long, a fairly long one as it is, and notable tags of which being harem, plot, and vanilla. Something I desperately need. Yeah. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into this whole thing, because I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit of a shorter review. Starting out with a story of a guy who has lived with two twin sisters, both nearly identical, one being a more teacher look, the other one being a more childhood friend sort of look. You get what I'm saying. Glasses and straighter clothes. Strict, and then the one with the bow, which somehow means childhood friend. They're together. They both have semi-feelings for the other one, for the male character whose parents died. That's the reason he lives with them. And it then goes into him walking down the hallway. I don't know if I skipped anything. Oh yeah, he walks down the hallway and he sees the childish one, who is pretty shy, getting proposed to by another student, and then she says, "No, I can't date you." And he's like, "Why?" And she says, "'Cause I'm already in love with somebody." Yeah. In this case, she essentially she's saying like, "I'm in love with somebody. Who could it be? It's the main character. Who else could it be?" Yeah. He comes home and he walks her, and then he walks in on her half-dressed, and during that time she confesses, in which case there's a shit ton of foreplay, like straight up 3 minutes of it. But in which case it leads into the first scene, running from 7 minutes and 25 seconds to 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Relatively nice length at nearly 5 minutes long, and at the end of it, there had been a few shots of the door being open the entire time, but the door only being cracked a little bit open, which then leads into exactly what you think. The strict sister being on the outside, being like, "Oh, but I wanted to date him." So it's implied that they're dating from this point, which is where the, I don't know, NTR tag is, which is essentially cheating, I'm led to believe. It then cuts over to the track room, which it shows off a little bit of the strict sister getting dirty. Apparently, he had walked in to go see where she was. She was essentially half dressed, and then she got a little bit naughty, and essentially led to scene number 2. That ranges from 13 minutes and 5 seconds to 16 minutes and 10 seconds. Much shorter, but still a respectable length. I wish most of you could just accept that. She admits she's jealous, and then the stricter sister of the two, and then reminisces about their relationship and how they've grown and how he's acted towards her and her sister. She takes a shower, and then as she's walking in, she's confessing a few things, trying to talk to him. He's spellbound because beautiful naked woman in front of him. She gets a little too close, slips and falls in, and this whole time they're doing that classic act where, "Oh, I'm in the tub naked with the character that I want to bang," and then the secondary character, who's not supposed to know about this forbidden relationship, is on the other door as they start getting down and dirty. Well, down and clean, since they're in a bathtub. And the other one's on the outside like, hey, can I come in? Can I come in? Can I come? That's same shtick. In which case, it leads to scene number 3, ranging from 19 minutes flat to 20 minutes and 15 seconds, where it kind of has a little bit of an intermission, and then it actually ends at 23 minutes and 5 seconds, which is still shorter than the first one, but it's pretty good for what it is. They then get out, and the two girls start to fight over the character, and then the mom kind of absent-mindedly walks in, just like, I want to be a part of what's going on. Which is kind of a prerequisite, because it then cuts to him being in a sauna or an onsen. I don't know what's going on with Japan, but there's a lot of water and it's steamy, and a lot of people like to get in all at once. He gets in, and then his adopted mother walks in and says, I would like to join. And she does it just about as lewd as you'd expect somebody like this to do, in which case it leads to scene 4, running from 26 minutes to 28 minutes and 20 seconds, which in case it essentially ends with her saying a few lewd things and then cutting to black. Which I gotta say, this is weird because this final scene is 99% armpit, which I was not expecting. And I gotta, just for the audacity that they did it, I gotta give them credit. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but apparently it's somebody's. So let's go ahead and jump into the rankings. So if you don't mind, cut to that low-budget transition scene that we've been missing so desperately these last few episodes. Thank you very much, and time to get into the actual idea. God damn it, I lost my place. There it is. Alright, now for the animation. I would say that the animation here is damn good, but it's nothing over the top. Like, it's definitely... I gotta say, I've been watching a legit anime this entire time, so I'm kind of like biased when it comes to animation. But overall, I didn't see anything that was noticeably bad, and they never lingered on too many shots for it to feel like they just kind of decided to hit the loop button and then give it up. So I gotta say, 7 out of 10. Nothing spectacular and good for like everything that's going on, but the character design is really nice, and I would like to say that the animation is pretty smooth as well. 7 out of 10. Damn good. And that moves on to characters. Characters are distinct with their personalities. It's not just strict tsundere and then a playful childhood friend. They actually have a few things in between, even though most of this is spent on the actual lewdness of them. They actually do have a little bit of personality that goes outside of those two different things, which is pretty nice. Nice. It's not super expected, but the designs can feel a bit repetitive for the characters, since they both look very similar. It almost looks like all 3 of the girls, including the mom, all look like the same person with just different clothes. And I gotta say, that's a 7 out of 10. For them having the distinctness that they do, it's pretty fun. Plus, it's kind of funny to see them in these, like, outfits that, like, oh, it's the same person, but they just lower or higher voice with a different setup. And then what we're all actually here for, the plot. Numerous in their size, given that there is, I'm pretty sure, 4? Yeah, there's 4 scenes throughout this entire thing. And I can't say not a single one is bad. But they're very vanilla for what they are. Except for the last scene. The last scene, I was not expecting the armpit. That's pretty out of left field. And you know me if you've seen any other of these videos of the channel. I love vanilla. Vanilla is an amazing flavor in ice cream and everything else. And especially here. But then again, just something to spice up. It's 20 categories, but it's 20 categories that can all branch off from vanilla. And I appreciate every single one of them. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If there had been a little bit more character design to it, maybe a little bit more enthusiasm on one girl or the next with each one, they could have gone all the way up to a 10 out of 10. But vanilla is vanilla, and it should be praised for what it is. Leading all that together, the overall score, even though the name is a masterpiece, the name is Masterpiece. It is not, in fact, a masterpiece. Running at an average of 7 out of 10, which, it's not a masterpiece, but it's damn good, and I would recommend it. And to the friend of mine who did recommend this in the first place, it was pretty good. I'm probably not going to watch it again, but then again, most of my hobby is just watching hentai and then telling you guys about it and hopefully being funny along the way, even though I'm usually more analytical. So, leaving it at that, 7 out of 10 for Masterpiece. And I'm going to go ahead and do my closing remarks. We are at 47 subs. Thank you for every single one of them, every one of you that's joined, for letting me take these extended time periods where I can just decide to not make a video. I have been having to wake up a little bit earlier and then go to sleep a little bit later. Work is fun, financial problems are not. But when one raises up and the other one starts to lower down, that is fun. And I'm so glad that you guys are patient enough to be like, hey, we like these videos, so we're going to keep subscribing, even though he hasn't made one in a few days. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this time off, and I thank you for understanding, and a few of you even joining. So, in that, there's my closing remarks. Have a nice day. Don't be a dick. There's too many. And wash your fucking hands. I have been the Doctor, and I will see you guys later. Peace.